So a while back, I put a spike intake on my 2008 Honda Shadow Aero 750 chopper bobber bike. You can find those on eBay, Amazon. And when you change your air intake, you got to retune your bike. My 08 Aero is carbureted, so that's just playing with jets and needle positions and things like that. For you fuel-injected guys, you got to get like a tuner and do other things. I don't know, remap stuff. Sounds very expensive. But recently, I changed out the spike air intake for a velocity stack from TJBRUTALCUSTOMS, and I wanted to see if my current jetting was still sufficient. Now, when I put the spike air intake on, I had to upsize my main jet. I didn't do anything else. I think I changed the stock Pilot 50 out for an aftermarket 50 from the same kit, just on the off chance they were different. And I honestly didn't even go with like an actual like rejet kit. I just bought a bunch of jets on eBay for like $10. And it came with a bunch of mains and pilots for this model carburetor. And it worked. The bike ran great. My mileage didn't really suffer. It felt like it had a little more oomph. But the reason I switched, because I mean, I was happy with the spike. I think it looked cool. You know, really stood out. It was noticeable. It was different. But I ended up riding the chopper to work one day, and it rained. like right before, like the last like 20 minutes before it was time to go, it just like dumped like buckets. And that cone filter got completely soaked. And I was hanging out at work for like an extra 20 minutes, and I was like, it lightened up, but it didn't stop. And I was like, I just gotta go home, man. I can't sit here forever. And it was not having a good time. You could tell she was struggling to get air. Like, it was not having a fun time. Pulling up to a stoplight, my idle would drop to like 1,000 RPM. I'm having to hold the throttle open just to keep her alive. This is the only person going the speed limit today. If they're going the speed limit, we always do the speed limit because we are a law-abiding citizen. If for some reason you see a sign and it does not line up with the speedometer on one of my videos, just assume it's AI. And that was always kind of a concern with the chopper bike too. It was like that air filter was always just kind of like hanging out just off the side. I was always concerned that might happen. And honestly, I've also kind of always been curious about velocity stacks. I heard they're great for making like really good power. They're the bee's knees. People seem to like them. Some people don't seem to like them because instead of a filter, I'm just running a screen. Like that's all it is. I guess in theory, I probably could have just put a pod filter on the end of the thing, but the idea is the screen is fine enough to where like anything major that would damage your engine gets filtered out. Like you're not going to suck a squirrel or a small child into that thing. And that's what the internet seems really divided about. A lot of people say it's fine. Some people say, oh, you're going to damage your engine. You're going to suck so much sand and dirt and stuff in there. Oh, rain's going to get in there. Which it might. Honestly, I think I've ridden this bike one time. I have maybe like an hour and 20 minutes on it before recording this video. I wanted to do like my first thoughts with the velocity stack on there, but I got impatient. I'm not gonna lie. I put it on there, I tooled around for like an hour, and I rode this bike to work once since then. And so far, I haven't really noticed much of a difference. Because I haven't changed any of the jetting yet. I haven't done anything to the carburetor. I basically pulled the cone off. I used the 3 set screws to attach the velocity stack. I keep wanting to say throttle body. Like I attached the throttle body to the carburetor, but that's not accurate. And I was a little nervous about this thing being held on with 3 set screws too, but it passed the wiggle test, so it's probably fine. Power-wise, you don't seem that bad either. Hello, Raleigh PD. How are you fellows doing this morning? Or ladies, I'm not, being sexist or anything. Don't cancel me, yo. I do hope rain isn't really much of an issue, though, too, because it does kind of it's kind of tucked under the tank a little bit, so it's a little more protected. And I think unless we get some, like, crazy horizontal sideways rain, it's probably fine. But just normal cruising power, normal takeoff, normal speeds, normal traffic stuff, obeying the law like a good little boy. It does just fine. I did notice, though, that first little hour test ride I did. Because, I wasn't going to just put this on and then wheel it back in the garage and go inside and watch TV the rest of the day. That was, no. I had to see if it was going to work. I was excited. I was excited about it. Because it was one of those parts I bought like 3 weeks to maybe a month ago, and it's been sitting in a box. I do that way too often. Like, there's actually there's one or two other parts on this thing that I bought a little while ago that's just kind of been sitting. But I noticed, though, when I was really getting on it, right there about 3,000 RPM, it would stutter just a little bit. But I also think it might be this gauge and how I connected it to the coil wire. Because I used like those little crimp butt splice things, or like the little inline splice things where you clip it over the wire, then you jam another one in there and you just kind of squish them, which are horrible. I know. I need to go clean all that up at some point. But it's been that way for a couple years now. So it seems fine. So I can't tell if it's a power based on that thing, you know, just not having a super good connection, or if it's just putting out a signal faster than the tachometer can read it. It was also warmer out. Like, full disclosure, it is like the 3rd of August. I'm wearing a hoodie on a motorcycle in August, which for my Southern Hemisphere friends, that's typical. But for us Northern Hemisphere folks, especially in the Southeast United States, it's a little chilly this morning, man. It's like 70 Fahrenheit, which I'm not complaining. Trust me, it's been, the low has been, here lately at like 4 in the morning, it has been like 82, 85 Fahrenheit, and the humidity is probably at least the same number. So when I first did the test ride, it was probably like 95 degrees out. So that could have been a factor. Because, of course, warmer air is less dense, so there's less molecules all jammed in the same spot. That's why colder air is denser, and without going into too much detail about thermodynamics and dehumidification and all that, basically the colder it is outside, the less humidity you should have, which has nothing to do with motorcycles, so I won't mention it again. But essentially it was warmer, so the air was thinner, which less oxygen, blah, 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 blah. So it's a little cooler this morning. That's why I wanted to get out and give her another run. We're just kind of cruising surface streets right now, letting her warm up. And also I'm kind of pointed towards downtown, which is not going to be conducive of a speed test. So I need to requaculate and not hit manhole covers on a hard-strutted chopper. I'm not going to say hardtail, I'm going to say hard-strutted, because some guys get worked up about that. It's not a hardtail, you just put hard struts on it. Yeah, okay. Some people say, hey, same thing, no big deal. Whatever. Anywho, that person's in a hurry. Like their butt's on fire. They got places to be, I guess. So yeah, so this isn't really conducive of where we want to go and what we want to do. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to see about making a U-ey and heading back up. Going to head north. Bigger roads, bigger adventure, or something. I don't freaking know. We're just gonna do a little loop-de-loop right here on a long fork, 8-inch over, extra rake, Honda chopper, almost hit the curb. Let's go! So she seems to pull pretty good. I mean, I think my jetting's okay. I also recently taken the baffles out of this thing. So when I put the I got TJ Brutal Customs high-low drag pipes. When I first put those in, I stuck some 8-inch baffles in there. Kind of quiet things down. I've recently taken those out. And this bike sounds like it's supposed to. And honestly, I think I gained a bit of torque back. Because that's the other thing I noticed with the Velocity Stack as compared to the Spike Filter. I don't think it's making more power. Because I didn't do any of the emissions delete yet either. I want to do that still. I haven't done it yet. I mainly wanted to see how it would run with the Velocity Stack in place. And honestly, I'm kind of thinking of just leaving it alone. Because it's not exactly like hurting anything. The question is, do I want to get on 440 first thing this morning? It is Sunday, so there should be less traffic, so we should be all right. You know what? Let's do it, because that's the belt line. That's going to be like a higher speed limit. Basically, a less chance of me getting in trouble. I don't do a lot of highway on this thing either. The only downside is the acceleration we're going to get is uphill. So it's going to be skewed. So you know what? Maybe we won't do that. Just because that is going to skew my numbers. Okay, this might work. Alright, so we're not going to rev it up. This is all AI. This is all digital. None of this really happened. Never mind. We're not going to do it. Mainly because there's our friend, Raleigh PD. Kind of ruining my video today. It's like they knew what I was doing. Like they're following me. Are they following me? Nobody's following me. I'm not paranoid. You're paranoid. I I just want to go fast on my chopper bike. That's not a crime, is it? It says ride or die. I don't want to die. I want to ride. Well then, hello. Aren't you a cutie? Little red light. How you doing? What's up, Roxanne? You ain't got to put that red light on, baby. Which is a prostitute thing, by the way. If you're not familiar with the lyrics of that song, kids, ask your grandparents. But also, this probably won't work, because there's a red light in a vehicle up here. They're turning, but still, the gap between these lights is not conducive, and the brakes on this Shadow are not, like, fantastic. They're not known for their braking. I am determined to get at least one of these in the video from a standstill. I don't care how long it takes and how much raw footage I gotta sit through, because holy crap, it was the whole point of this video today, was to be like, look how fast that is. But 540's coming up. That's like the big outer loop that goes around the top of Wake County area. That might do the trick. Mainly because we're gonna be elevated above it. We're not gonna have an on-ramp like you did for 440. We're gonna say hey to this guy and see if he says hi. Cool. He had that oval headlight one. That's like some of the Fat Bobs, I think, have that. Some of the Harley Fat Bobs. Sportster S might have that too. I don't know. I'm not up on the Harley models. And touching on that for a second, some people seem to think I don't like Harley Davidson. I got no issue with the Harley Davidson motorcycles. I think the company's been making some really goofy decisions, and I think they betrayed their main customer base. And I also think a lot of, and this isn't everybody, obviously it's a few bad apples ruin the bunch. There's a lot of Harley guys out there that unless you ride the same bike they got, unless you're riding the same bike, unless you're riding a Harley Davidson, and then if you do, it better not be a Sportster, then they're better than you because they spent more money and they got to ring a bell at the dealership. It's like, whatever, man. Some people just get way too worked up over some goofy little internet videos. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get on 540, which this time of day, this time of day should be fine. Hopefully we're not riding into the sun too much. I just want to do a little pull. You guys can kind of see what we're talking about here. Because I don't think it is faster, but according to my butt dyno, it almost feels like it's doing a little more, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and switch to reserve because we're on the borderline and I don't want this thing sputtering. We're right about the time where I would usually start to fill up. I got to remember where this turn is. Is it here? No, it's not here. This is the lane we want, though. Hanging on my helmet and it's driving me nuts. And as you guys can see, nice slow speed, responsible cruising. And I haven't mentioned the jets yet. Or maybe that was the turn and I'm just stupid. We're going to turn around because that was it and I'm dumb. There's a burger joint up here on the right, Bad Daddy's, that ain't too bad. That I go to sometimes, not today because it's too early. I mean, I meant to come this way so I could tell you guys there's burgers over here. Yes, that's exactly what I meant to do. Come on, pass me, dude. See if I can do a better job of this U-turn than I did the last one. I have a problem. I realize I don't turn my head like I should, but also 8-inch over forks, the additional rake on this mammer jammer. You ain't turning tight, baby. Yeah, so I'm sure there was a sign and I missed it. Thank you for yielding, my friend. Thank you for yielding. See, this will work because we'll pick up speed right on that little loop right now. Which means I need to be in second, but this also still doesn't do what I wanted it to do. But it will be close. So this will be our simulation merged. I could pause at the bottom here, but there is somebody behind me. I'm trying to look at my mirrors and stuff while I'm doing this. We are in second gear. Third, fourth, fifth, and that's about usually as far as I push it. Mainly because I drive a lot for work, and if I lose my driver's license, I'm completely screwed, 100%. Like, big time. Like, it would be a very, 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 very big problem. But as far as jets go on this thing, yeah, it's like an aftermarket 50, which is the same size as the factory, 130 main. I haven't done anything with the needle position yet, because honestly, from what I understand, you only have to fuss with that if your stuff's kind of in the middle. You know, like if you're mid-throttle range, you're sputtering a little bit. But that hasn't really been an issue. Mainly it was high-end power with the throttle wide open I was having problems with. And while it's probably not perfect, it's pretty good. All right, we just got off of there. Nobody's behind me. This might be what I want to do. Real quick like. Pull over here like so. Traffic's gonna come in a minute. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that bogged down. No, baby. Oh no, she hasn't been doing that. Well, I just look foolish now. Let's see if that was a fluke. Hopefully we catch this red light. Come on, baby. Let me catch this red light. Let me catch it. Let me catch it. Let me catch it. Let me catch it. Come on, stay red. I've never, like, actually wanted a light to stay red before. Okay. Bottle's fully closed. We're on reserve. So we got plenty of gasoline. We're not gonna spin her up. We might spin her up a little bit. We might. I'm not gonna hold her. I want to hold her at 3, but I let the clutch out a little slower that time. She's still slow, but that's okay. I don't know, man. It fell faster. I promise you guys, it got to 70 in second gear like pretty quick. So maybe we do have to do a little bit of tuning. That's all right. We're also sucking fuel from the reserve, and we weren't before, so maybe that's different. Outside air temperature's probably playing, a little bit to that. Colder air, of course, being denser, more oxygen, which means we need more fuel. And depending, a carburetor bike, you don't have a computer adding fuel when you need it. You're just kind of rolling with what you got. But I didn't buy this bike to drag race it. I bought it for cruising around, and it's still doing a really good job of that. I'm thinking she's definitely lean, and I'm thinking I'm definitely going to need a bigger main jet, and I'm pretty sure what I had, the bag of jets I bought, I think so I got a 130 in there now. I think it maxes out at 140 or 150, but I don't want to go from a 130 to a 140 because I think that's too much, because the factory main jet, for my research, is a 122, and we got a 130 in there now. And if I remember with the cone filter any bigger than that, I was running super rich. So I need something like a 135, but we'll get it figured out. It could also be me, too, because I'm not like... I don't do, like, drag pulls all the time. It's just not my jam. I ain't into it. And these bikes aren't built for speed anyway. Nobody buys a Honda Shadow 750 because they want to go fast. They buy it because it's reliable. I mean, if you're coming from, like, a 125cc, now, like... But, like, compared to, like, my Grom clone, my 125cc bike, yeah, this thing's a freaking monster by comparison. But still, it's really not that fast. And if you're curious how slow it is, I did some 0 to 60 tests with a previous configuration a while back, and you can check that video out right here. And as always, y'all be good. See ya.